table tennis on this Saturday night here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We are getting set for the Florida Crocs and the Princeton Revolution. Saturday night here in Myrtle Beach, and we are set for the nightcap at the Myrtle Beach Event Center. It's the Princeton Revolution and the Florida Crocs. Florida in first place in the East Division after an impressive performance on Friday night against Carolina, and Princeton continuing to try and find the right formulas and rhythms. They're mixing up the lineup tonight. Carolina in first place for the moment, but Florida needs 6 points to tie Carolina. Even if they lose the match tonight but get 7 points, they would be back in first place. Very tight at the top. Gold Rush just taking care of business against Chicago in the Golden Game. But this Florida team, all they know is how to win in Golden Games. And hi again, everybody. Evan Leffler with the Olympian Sean O'Neill. This Florida team, from the very first day that took the table in Daytona Beach, just came out with energy. They got the chomp to create a little personality. Their team camaraderie, they're clicking on all cylinders right now.
They're really bringing everything with their top player, Daniel Gorak, and Matilda Ekholm playing great singles and doubles. I'm a Croc fan right now.
Well, Mark Duran was dominant last night, but you mentioned Dan Gorak. We'll see him right off the bat, and his work in both singles and doubles, as you said, has been dominant for Florida.
Just a class player, true professional, and living in Florida on top of it.
In the second singles match, we'll see the MLTT debut of Daniel Gonzalez against Yevgen Prishepa. Mentioned Princeton mixing up the matchups. Mathieu De Saintilan not playing doubles tonight. He'll just play singles. And what'll be an interesting all-French third singles battle between him and Benjamin Brossier. And later tonight, Jishan Liang against Mark Duran, who just could not miss last night.
It'll be pure fireworks in singles number 4 with both players bringing the heat against each other.
Let's talk about this first singles match. Daniel Gorak, the number 2 pick in the Major League Table Tennis Draft, had a fantastically exciting battle with Enzo Angles yesterday. Lost 2 out of 3, but certainly played well. And Jinxin Wang's going to have his hands full. Wang was not in the lineup yesterday. He was inactive. We saw him play some really tight games down in Daytona Beach. This will be Wang's first opportunity to take the table here in Myrtle.
It's exciting. The Golden Game is new for everybody, so I'll walk you through it when we get there. But this match that's about to begin, they alternate serves every 2 points until one player has 11 points. And they do that for 3 games before we get into the second match. If you guys have any questions,
reminder of the format: 4 singles matches, all 3 games to 11. The doubles match, also the 3 games to 11.
Awesome. All right.
Gorak and Ekholm have been an excellent doubles duo so far in Major League Table Tennis. And then the Golden Game. Florida has not lost a Golden Game. They're the only team in the league that can say that. The Golden Game coming up in a couple hours. Settle in. Enjoy. Gorak to serve first.
What a serve out of the chute. Going for the quick ball out to the forehand side.
Wang gets the early equalizer. What about the serve caught Wang off guard and caught you off guard?
It's just not an angle you normally go for. If we were playing doubles, that would be okay. But in singles, I think there was I don't know if there was a thought of a possible flash. Daniel raised his hand just to make sure that there's no distractions along the side court.
Score is 1-1. And Jinxin Wang takes the 2-1 lead. Jinxin, 31 years old, will be 32 next month. Former U.S. Open men's singles champion.
I expect that Gorak will play a lot more balls to Wang's forehand. Wang has a great deal of control on the backhand side. Playing it short to the forehand on the serve and going right to the middle. Gorak doesn't want to see the backhand from the backhand corner. Staying on that forehand. Wow, what an angle. Thought he was going to go down the line with that one.
Just caught the edge.
Yeah, just continue adding a lot of spin and speed to this forehand reloop. To see just living in that forehand corner.
Strong start for Daniel Gorak. He's got 6 of the first 8 points. He lives in Florida, as you said, but he is the 5-time Polish national champion. More than 2 decades on Poland's national team.
And that forehand is giving Wong just a nightmare. Nice backhand opening and then stepping around to get his forehand into play.
Both players go to the towels. Wong scored the last 2, but Gorak still has the 8-4 lead. That's
Great.
too good.
Yeah, that control by Gorak, just lining it up, taking his time, looking for the open court.
Wow. Tremendous stuff from Daniel Gorak.
Just so fluid. Great movement, moving the ball around, but playing both backhand and forehand rips.
First game, Crocs, 11-4.
First game goes to Gorak, 11-4.
We
knew he was the favorite coming into this matchup, but that is a convincing opening statement.
And just so much pressure on Wong, not giving Wong a chance to, other than maybe 1 or 2 forehand attacks. He's been on the defense the whole time, and from the forehand side, which is a little bit unusual. You think of everyone having great forehands, but Gorak took it to his forehand, kept him out of the backhand corner.
Say your name one more time.
What's Gorak's greatest strength, Sean?
I think it's just his overall balance in his game. His backhand attacks and forehands just really complement each other. He never overplays, and good serve and serve returns. Just really clean. Gets himself a chance to make that first opening with a little bit more depth on his ball, so he can continue to put the pressure on.
Doesn't sound like he has many weaknesses.
No, you're going to have to do something like Enzo Angles, where you have super power on one side, or maybe one particular strength that can pierce his all-round game. But I really like how he comports himself on the table. He doesn't get too excited. He doesn't get too down. When he is winning the big points, you do see the excitement on his face because he knows this is a team event.
Gorak now 9-4 in singles matches, singles games, I should say.
Again, over to the forehand immediately.
0-1.
Jin Wong sitting at an ugly 2-8 in the singles games.
He was the top pick of the Revolution. Oh, there's a nice reloop there by Wong.
Wong did take 2 out of 3 from Mark Duran when these two teams played in September. That was the match where all 3 games were 11-10. Service error from Gorak.
1-2.
See how just clean and smooth that is by Gorak. Doesn't take a big swing, but just gets into position. Good placement, ready for a return.
3, 2.
When Florida and Princeton played in September, Florida had an 8-7 lead going into the Golden game. So it was close.
2, 4.
Back and forth. And won the Golden game to take the match 14-7. See if Jin Wong can do anything with this early lead here in game 2.
It just seems once Gorak gets that first offensive ball going, Wong is really limited on what he can do. Just keeping it in play. Oh, a nice over-the-table flip.
When do you think Wong is overmatched? He
Right.
pulls something out of his quiver.
Right, he says, I've had enough of these short balls to the forehand. I'm going to deliver a blow.
And a 6-3 lead now for Wong.
Gorak mixing up the serve return, sometimes short, sometimes long.
Point for Wong. Apologizing for the net ball.
Often when the ball catches the net, it just changes the amount of spin and the timing. Nice re-loop there by Wong on the backhand.
It's a 10-4 lead for Jin Wong.
Just completely turning the table here in game 2.
Gorak stays alive with that big forehand winner. Saves a couple game points now as the serve goes back to Wong.
Oh,
Wow.
what a backhand loop.
10-7.
Wong's got to be careful. Gorak will have the serve.
Gorak's won 4 in a row,
Timeout.
and he's got 2 points on his serve, and we're going to get a
And
timeout for the
is
Princeton
called
Revolution
here
right
by
now.
Mathieu
Mathieu
coach for
Habasson
Princeton
taking the
Revolution
timeout
for Jin Wong.
to give Jin Wong a breather. He's got a 10-8 lead, but Gorak has scored the last 4 points.
Sounded like you had some questions. What are your questions?
Gorak with a number of very aggressive attacks.
Does Paul know all your dad know all the answers?
Nice backhand loop right into the body.
Okay. Well, then I'll just spit some
Another
knowledge
forehand
just in
attack
case
directly
nobody
off the
has
serve.
Some fun facts about table tennis.
I don't know if the better question is, what have you seen these last 4 points, or what did you see the 14 points before that?
Well, there was a lot of mistakes by Daniel Gorak. He had the ball on his paddle, he just couldn't get it to land. And it seems he's found his rhythm for the last couple, so he'll have the serve, which means he'll get the second ball after the serve, something that he's comfortable with. Let's see if Jinxing Wang is overly aggressive on the serve to try to take the point directly.
All right.
How aggressive should he be on this return?
I would be at least on the one of the 2 points. I would at least dig it really deep, push it, try to get a softer opening, and then counterattack that ball. But Daniel with another deep, perfect serve right to that transition point between the forehand and backhand, and that's an ace down the middle.
5 in a row for Gorak. Still game point for Wang. And he missed it. So it's 10-10.
You know what it is.
This is 1 point.
Golden points.
What could be going through the mind of Jinxing Wang right now? Gorak comes from 6 down to take game 2, 11-10.
What a comeback. Gorak just continued to get his offense going. Great backhand loop off the serve, sending Jinxing Wang down to the court. You can see the celebration of the Crocs in the background.
Before they serve, what are they doing in preparation? Oh, that's a great question. So much like you watch basketball at all?
What a comeback for Gorak, to the delight of Frank Arias, the coach of the Crocs. Looked like Wang had it, Sean.
Yeah, and I mean, Wang was waiting for Gorak to miss, and Gorak was having none of that. Just kept the pressure on, a couple big zingers, but then at the very end, got the offense going. That one serve was huge at 10-8 to get the point direct.
It's not over.
Third game, Crocs to serve.
Wang
Ball.
still looking to try and salvage a point here. Gorak now in great position for a sweep, do you think?
And serving again deep out to the forehand to withstand Wang's forehand attack, and then just counterattacks it right back at him.
8 points in a row for Gorak. Finally, Wang snaps the string.
Gorak gives himself a little pat on the side of the face.
More of a smack than a pat.
And now Wang is just forcing the issue, trying to create some offense.
Two all.
That's the type of pattern that Gorak would like to have happen, where he makes a controlled opening and then he gets it set up for his forehand to drive the ball. Wang needs to get some offense going.
Well, that point had a little bit of everything.
4-2.
Gorak showing how skilled he is from the backcourt. Jinxing Wang mixing it up, smashes drop shots, and then he just goes on the full power out to the forehand side. Ball finally came down.
Again, finding out how to build a little bit of a lead. They switch sides at 5-2.
When Wong is playing offense, he's in good shape. It's just when he plays safe that Gorak has enough time to get into position to play both strong backhands and forehands.
5-2.
That's a great backhand reloop by Wong.
2-6.
Smart move to mix it up instead of just to block it, but to send a counterattack down the line. So much power. The ability to step around his backhand and just deliver that forehand loop. Just taking it right down the line.
Does it with a forehand 1 point, the backhand the next.
And just great placement, just again. Forehand to the middle, and then a backhand down the line.
Chin Wong, though, continues to battle.
And he's making good decisions. He's making his forehand, putting a lot more behind it. Not just putting it on the table, but adding a little bit of pace.
Princeton Revolution team are just looking for something positive, individually and collectively. Point for Princeton. Three-point lead for Wong. 3 points away. Let's see if he can get to the finish line this time. Now a 9-5 lead, and Gorak has Jin Wong exactly where he wants it. Maybe he needs to give him one more point, perhaps. I'm sure that's not the goal.
This is what Gorak would like to do, is control the tempo, put as much spin on the ball so he doesn't have to worry about the speed of Wong's shot.
(10-6) for Wong. Serve will go back to Gorak, but still with game points. We have been here before. Wong close it out. He takes it. Jin Wong certainly is going to finish this match feeling like he should have won 2 out of 3, but a gutty effort to salvage that third game after coughing up the 6-point lead in game 2.
Definitely a little bit of a moral victory to get that final game for the team.
Sports photography coming along. Is this why you created a dark room here by putting a black hoodie down like this, just to make sure you could see the photos like a professional? And Daniel, I didn't get a link. What happened?
Daniel Gorak gets 2 points for the Crocs. But Wong able to salvage that final point.
For those of you that need a sports
And it appears we will get set for our second singles match. We're going to see the MLTT debut for Daniel Gonzalez as he goes against Yevgen Prishepa. Gonzalez from Puerto Rico, Prishepa from Ukraine.
All right, coming up
And
next,
this
you
will be
can
the
see on
first time that
screen here,
these
we've got
two
Daniel
have gone
Gonzalez
head-to-head on the table in
making his
MLTT.
debut at MLTT.
Prushepa
Quite
has,
excited to see my Puerto Rican friend come
maybe
out here.
fair to say,
against
exceeded
Ukraine's
expectations.
own
He's played pretty well. He's probably been
Princeton's
Princeton's best overall
who
player.
actually started the
Very
season
solid
a little
in
bit late
getting
as well,
Daytona
but has
Beach.
been
He
a
flew in
legend for
from the European
Ukraine.
Championships,
It's quite exciting to
basically
see him
no
here at
sleep,
MLTT.
and went out and played
Two
and won his first, I
right-handed
wouldn't
players.
say first
You're
game
new
or
to table
two,
tennis, left-handed
right out of
players
the
have a little
box.
bit of an advantage because
But
everything
very
is the
strong.
opposite
Just
of where
watch
you're
his
used to
backhand,
playing.
so
A
solid.
forehand, a backhand, where they
He likes to
stand
say
on
that he's a
serve.
thinking
Left-handed
player.
players are also quite
Keeps
popular
the ball on
in
the
doubles.
table, moves it
I'll tell you
around,
the rules about doubles
but a
later.
lot
They're
of
little bit
pressure
more
off the
complicated.
backhand
But
side.
having a right-handed, left-handed combination is very preferred if you can do that.
Prushepa also talks about his fast topspin.
2-minute warm-up.
Abby, still thinking? All right. I will say to the Florida Crocs, you guys got
Prushepa,
fans, just so you know, Mark,
last night,
Joe, Frank,
played well.
right here, some fans that love the Crocs on. Yep, there it is. Oh, they love it. Look at Cal. He's on the team recruited. If you need somebody, Cal, if you ever want to get
Prushepa was not in the lineup when Princeton played Florida that first night of MLTT,
I know right now you've got a few openings here.
September 15th. So this will be Prushepa's first time getting the
So enjoy them while you can.
chance to go after Crocs, and obviously it's the first opportunity for Gonzalez. Consider Prushepa a favorite here, or is this, I mean, we have seen consistently, Sean, players struggle in their first ever game under the lights.
We really have, and I think it's really going into what they would normally play a best-of-5 game match, where you have a game or two to get into it. Now we're just playing 3 games. And if you lose the first 2, you're gone. I mean, you've lost 2 points. Now you're fighting to make sure you don't lose all 3, whereas in a traditional table tennis match, it's the best-of-5, and you can come back after being down 2-0. That no longer exists, really, after the second game. So this should be interesting. I would say the European experience of Prushepa will play a role. Daniel Gonzalez again from Puerto Rico.
Gonzalez wins the first point on his opponent's serve. Two 2-0 lead for Suns Out, Guns Out, Daniel Gonzalez.
Checking the lighting.
More height.
Gonzalez was just warned to give the ball a little bit more height. He brings out more guns.
How about that?
That's the backhand of Prushepa.
He was ready for it.
So solid.
It's interesting how Gonzalez gets down, basically cuddles up next to the table. Big forehand winner, 3-1 lead.
And he's looking for a weak serve return so he can just blast it. Not a lot of finesse. Looks like Prushepa has found an area that works out wide to the forehand. He's done it twice so far.
And both with his backhand. This time Gonzalez gets a paddle on it, but didn't make a difference. If you're a coach of Prushepa, would you say to keep doing that, or do you want to mix up your attacks?
I would live in the forehand. I would start there and then see if Gonzalez can hold the table, or if he leaves it,
Shepard turns that point around. He's won 3 in a row to take a 4-3 lead.
Gonzalez going for the safe ball and just catching the net.
For all.
Shepard serving 4-4.
Gonzalez playing big shots. Really just going for winners after every single opening. There's a punch, another rip. It's constant pressure on Princeton.
That.
So Princeton looking for a deep serve down the line. Gonzalez really stays close to the table on the serve return, almost crowding it. It's like Princeton might have noticed that, but he also crowds it when he's serving. It's really nice and low and tight into this toss. Princeton just looking for a ball to come off the end of the table to make a quality forehand loop. Just keep the offense off of Gonzalez's racket. Went for a reverse flip. Try to do a little bit of a hand fake there. We've seen Gonzalez do that so effectively.
Gonzalez back up by 1. A lot of tension here in game 1. Both players trying to set the tone, you can tell. Gonzalez wins another point on Yevgen's serve.
Gonzalez is just waiting for any serve that comes off the end of the table for him to just jump on top of it with a forehand loop. It's effective.
3 in a row now.
Again, tight serve, nice and low, soft flip, and then here comes the forehand.
7-9.
9-7. Princeton set to serve twice.
Wow.
7-10.
Not a time to miss your own serve.
He wants a new ball. Game point, Gonzalez. It's over.
First
Gonzalez,
game, Crocs 11-7.
with a strong finish, takes game 1, 11-7.
Just shows the Croc momentum. Great touch on the serve return. Princeton fights to get a forehand in and just takes it long. Point to the Florida Crocs.
Watching Daniel, the biceps up on screen with his sleeves rolled up. The sport's just going to shoot through the roof.
How surprised are you by what we just saw?
I'm completely stunned. I thought Princeton, after playing those first 2 balls out to the forehand so effectively, had found a strategy. But credit Gonzalez for just bringing the heat, bringing the guns, and just putting pressure on every single ball.
So you can find it there. And who knows, Syed? Saeed. Okay, Saeed and I had a chance to play. Every day normally before the matches, I'll come out here and play with you guys. So if you want to play, we have brackets.
So 3-1 lead for the Florida Crocs.
Anything you want to know table tennis, we're happy to help. So game number 2 in the second
Really, it
singles
feels like
match.
whoever Frank Arias puts on the table wearing green has some
The luck of the Irish, but they're Crocs, so.
Second game, Crocs to serve. Love all.
The depth of Florida has been on display in the Golden Games, and really all match long. Says something too, Sean, that Ojo Odalapo is inactive today, but he's been playing great table tennis for the Crocs.
He's been playing super, and the one thing every Croc does have is such great fighting spirit, and it just multiplies when they're all out on the court.
Ojo took 2 out of 3 from Kai Jong yesterday, singles. 1-1 here in game 2. What, if any, adjustment do you think Brzepa needs to make?
I think he just needs to get into the rallies a little deeper. I think he will find that Gonzalez's attacks are strongest the first 2. But because of footwork, because of placement, they tend to get a little bit weaker later into the point. And that's where Brzepa really plays well, especially on the backhand side. But he's got to make his first loop. He can't be spraying that ball off the end of the table. Got the ball that he wanted, just looped it, lifted the elbow up a little bit, sent it long. That's what I expect Brzepa to do a lot more of. Get into the mid-court counter-attacking rallies and then get it over to the forehand side.
Service error from Gonzalez. Have you seen a player with the service mechanics that resemble Gonzalez, with a step back, the hunched over? It's a unique twirl to begin the point.
Yeah, I think he's unique in his preparation delivery of the serve. The spins are very common to what even Brzepa's doing. It's just forehand side spin with a little bit of underspin or a little bit of top spin.
Brzepa creating a little separation now here in game 2.
Again, just getting into the rally with that first backhand top spin. And that's classic Brzepa. Backhand over the table, well placed. Not much Daniel Gonzalez can do on that serve return.
8-2.
Gosh, Brzepa's defense on that one forehand drive that Gonzalez did, played it right out of the middle of the court.
Yeah, he's forced Gonzalez to hit a couple more balls.
You don't want to go straight to his forehand like Brzepa did on that one. Gonzalez just jumped on top of this serve.
Three, 10.
10-3 now for Brzepa.
And 4.
Nice low cut down the line by Gonzalez.
And That's game 2 in the books,
Second game
11-4.
11-4.
How strong was that second backhand?
Yevgeny
By
Prushepa
Prushepa,
tying it up
just
at one game apiece,
creamed it
11-4.
off the bounce.
Quite a scoreline here after
It
that
does
11-7
feel like
beat
you can
coming
catch
the
a
other
guy
way
off
from
guard
Daniel Gonzalez.
with a bullet
so this one will
backhand.
come down to a decider
I mean, that's a body
between these
blow
two. But remember,
directly,
it's all just
and that's
taking
Prushepa's
points for the
strength.
team. At the
His
end of
backhand
each
over the table, strong forearms, but a loose and relaxed wrist allows him to really snap through the ball.
Quicker release with that backhand. Prushepa finding his rhythm in game 2.
Again, just a quality backhand topspin to get the point going. But then also nice forehands as well. Just nice control, nothing too crazy.
Game number 3 with Yevgeny Prushepa and Daniel Gonzalez. This is it.
Here we go, rubber game.
Third game, Revolution to serve. Love all.
Just thinking it feels like Gonzalez needs to get off to a decent start here.
He really does it with the momentum in Prushepa's corner. That backhand is just amazing. Gonzalez made a good forehand opening loop. As Prushepa took that spin and just drove right over it.
One, two.
Gonzalez trying to fire himself up after that Prushepa backhand sailed long.
Oh, Prushepa had a chance if he could have just gotten his body a little bit more around the ball. Just a quality opening here with the backhand side by Prushepa. Out, down to the forehand. Gonzalez goes for the counterattack.
Feels like both guys kind of want to finish the point quickly.
Yeah, neither one of them wants the other side deciding who's going to win the point, so they're going for the bigger shot as early as possible. But I think that's Gonzalez's game. He likes to hit winners.
Who does?
Daniel Gorak.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he has so much pace on his ball. Oh, Prushepa wanted to go down the line, but his feet were kind of in the wrong position in order to make that happen. If they go backhand to backhand, the advantage will be for Prushepa. It's just Gonzalez has done a nice job getting his attack directly off of his own serve. And that's a nice opening. They'll change ends, 5-4 in this game 3.
Monster forehands from Daniel Gonzalez.
Just a total power player. Going for big forehand and then a bigger forehand. Oh, that was was a great third ball attack after Prushepa was able to attack his serve. Daniel Gonzalez stayed with it. Super forehand return off the attack.
There's a big point for Prushepa. And Gonzalez's serve. Back in 2.
So what are these guys going to win this, or is one going to lose it? I mean, how do you look at this?
Well, I think Gonzalez wants it on. He wants the ball on his racket so he can take a big swing there. Look at that shot by Prushepa. Gonzalez went full bore off the serve, and Prushepa was able to return it.
Self-defense.
And we're tied 7-7.
Ball.
3-2 lead for Florida in the overall match. Prushepa looking for the equalizer.
It's game to 4 right now.
Ball.
How come short? I told the same.
7-8.
Not going to win that argument with the umpire.
Wow. Steve Panko made the call. Gonzalez did not like it.
Last thing you want to do is get a yellow card for arguing after you've lost the point.
What do you think of the call?
I didn't notice. It seemed like the same serve he's been doing for the last 3 games, but my call doesn't matter.
Matters to me.
Now 9-7 lead for Prushepa.
And the key now is for Gonzalez to play the match and not play the previous point. Easier said than done. He needs to regroup.
Three straight points for Prushepa. Run that started with a service violation. Game point.
Let's serve.
Prushepa does manage to take 2 out of 3 in a battle that had plenty of twists and turns. A little controversy, a little spice. Gonzalez, kind of a half-hearted handshake with the umpire. And Prushepa evens the matchup. Princeton and Florida tied 3-3 through a pair of singles matches as we head to doubles coming up momentarily.
This doubles is going to be very interesting with the matchup and the pair-ups. The Revolution changing order with Jishan Liang and Angela Guan. Jishan, the biggest forehand player on the team, and Angela, a defensive player, going against the seasoned team of Daniel Gorak, an Olympian, Matilda Ekholm. But first, we're going to get a chance to speak with Mr. Prushepa.
Yeah, Yevgen Prushepa joins us. We appreciate your time. Yevgen, congrats on taking 2 out of 3. An intense match, had some twists and turns. What was going through your mind after game 1?
On my mind was that I need to focus and try more, fight every point, and it sometimes helps.
Any tactical adjustment, or was it just mostly focusing and dialing in?
Also tactical a little bit. I don't feel today my serve. It's always little bit long, and he was ready and attacking successful from my serve in first set, so I decided to serve more simply and try to play with this.
It seemed like the longer the point went, the more you were winning those points. If it was 1 or 2 shots, he seemed to have a little bit of a surprise. Were you thinking about trying to extend the rally, or were you just comfortable getting the first attack in?
I like rally actually, because I have both sides, and he has stroke forehand and not so secure backhand, so rally should be for me. And he tried also to play more risky first balls, so if he got successful shot, it was difficult for me.
All right, Yevgen, we'll see you in the Golden Game. Real quick, the
Thanks.
Revolution have not won a Golden Game yet. Florida has not lost. Is today the day that everything flips for the Revolution?
Yeah, today will be the revolution.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Yevgen.
Thanks.
Yevgen Krashepa takes 2 out of 3 in singles for the second straight day. Got 2 points against Damian Provost in Chicago yesterday. And today gets 2 points against Daniel Gonzalez. And now we transition to doubles. And it's an interesting situation, Sean, because this is where the coaching comes in. When these two teams played back in September, it was Gorak and Ekholm dominating the doubles match 33-16 against De Saintilan and Guan. So De Saintilan sits out of doubles today, and Jishan Liang steps in. And Liang and Guan have very different styles, and I wonder how that will look.
It's not easy for an offensive player to pair up with a defensive star, because after every one of their attacks, their partner chops the ball back. And depending on the opponent, that gives them a chance to get their offense going. So it's going to be a little hit or miss here. That's going to be the tough shot when Mathilde Ekholm takes Angela Guan's chop and puts a lot of spin on it. Jishan Liang, he's going to have to run it down. He's going to have to be moving a ton.
Ball Crocs early. Reaching under the table to signal what play they want.
And that's going to be the challenge there, because Daniel Gorak is so strong off the table. No matter how big Jishan Liang plays his forehand, it's coming back with even more heat. Ekholm tried to take one right off the bounce. Ball snuck under her paddle. Not sure if Angela had signaled to Jishan that she was going to serve long, but Mathilde Ekholm was ready for it. Ekholm doesn't need to finish that ball. She can take her time and work the point a little bit. She has a partner who can track down anything that Jishan returns. And there, Gorak is so adept at turning the corner and getting his forehand into play.
Yeah, Gorak's offense has been the difference here.
Just precision placements. And that's a nice play there by Jishan.
Yeah, Princeton needs more of that.
Jishan needs to finish the ball every time he touches it. And that was a great placement by Ekholm, just jamming Liang into the body. Ekholm could have gone to the forehand, but took it over to the backhand side. Jishan tried to step around, not quick enough.
What stands out to you about how Gorak and Ekholm work together to set each other up?
What's nice is that Gorak's all-round game gives him options. He can go with power, he can go with placement, and Ekholm isn't going to misread any spin. She's going to just take her time. Whoa, what a backhand by Liang. He just powered through that ball. But it's nice in a doubles team to have one player acts more of a quarterback, sets the point up, and the other one does a finishing type of tactic.
6-9.
And if you can use Ekholm's forehand, that really plays well with Gorak's all-round game. And Ekholm knows you have to loop those serves and doubles that come off the end line. You cannot afford to push them back.
Game point.
10-7.
Oh,
how about
beautiful.
that offense from Angela Guan?
That was awesome. Angela Guan pulling the trigger on the forehand. Just taking her time, just driving it right out to the down the line. Ekholm stepping around the backhand, realizing wrong place, wrong time.
That's game.
First game, Crocs.
Liang and Guan keep it close, but the Crocs jump out to the early lead and take care of business at closing time, 11-8.
I think, Evan, that this second game coming up is actually going to have the pattern advantage for the Crocs, because now Daniel will be taking Angela's ball, and he can just tee off, especially when Matilda makes a soft control loop. Angela's going to have to chop it, and here comes Gorak.
This is Crocs. Look at that. Look at those eyes. Whatever Crocsky asks for, you would do, right? It's those puppy eyes.
What's the different dynamic with Liang out there instead of De Saintilan?
At least there's some offense, but it's not really teamwork offense. It's just one shot going for a key winner. Whereas when we had the two defenders out there, you could see the point build and they could change the spin and work together. So I was really surprised that they didn't keep the two choppers out there, but they said, what do we have to lose? We've been losing all the matches, so I can understand the reason to give it a shot to see if it might work out, but very tough with Jishan's style to really help set up Angela, and Angela's style to help set up Jishan. Ekholm and Gorak set each other up on every shot. He almost plays a singles player out there, working together so well, and the righty-lefty combination obviously helps.
Oh, Ekholm chose the offense too.
Great backhand by Matilda. Super touch. Excellent feel. See, now you've got Angela almost forcing the offense, because she knows if she just chops it back, it's going to be in the wheelhouse for Daniel Gorak.
Like that.
And he's just going to tee off. He's fast enough to run down any ball, and he can play offense on both the forehand and backhand side.
Apparently there's a wet spot.
Taking care of the players out here. There was a wet floor call. Just want to make sure nobody slips or gets hurt. Thank you, Diane, for your service. A round of applause. Diane's been helping as a ball kid, a floor cleaner, and everything in between her. The floor is clean and the players are ready.
1-3.
So for Angela, if she could just continue with her defense, her chops. Just chop it deep to the center. Cut down some of the angles.
4-2.
Becoming an attacker in this situation is going to be very tough for Angela Guan. So much stronger changing the spin and chopping it back.
4-3.
How about that? Net and edge for Gorak.
You gotta apologize twice for that, right?
Say you're double sorry.
Deep down,
You're thinking I'd love to do it again.
You're happy to get that point.
It's just a 1-2 combination from the Crocs in this setup. Gorak playing Angela Guan's ball. Jishan happy to return it.
7. No, 7-3.
I think they were receiving out of order.
First serve.
So in doubles, obviously you have to serve from the right side cross court, but that first serve landed on the wrong side of the line of the server.
That's a service error, right?
Right, that's just a point,
Not a let.
not a let. Point for the opposing team.
5-7.
good offense from Leon. Again, the Princeton's hanging around just like they did in game 1. The question is, can they generate the attack to seize control?
And that the attack's going to be off of Jishan Liang's racket because Angela Guan is a defensive specialist. But she can change the spin. She can mix it up. And if Daniel Gorak isn't careful, like we saw in this last point, he could just overplay. And that's what Jishan needs to do.
7-all.
One big finishing blow every time he touches it.
Seven all.
And that's the second serve that Matilda has missed this game. First time she didn't make contact with the ball. That time she sent it long. That serve.
It's a big point for the Crocs right there.
They really fought hard for that one.
How about that?
What a backhand step around in doubles and then down the line. Completely leaving Jishan Liang in his backhand corner.
It's a let.
Looked like Gorak was going to go for the same shot. Very tough to see where that backhand's going to get placed.
Gorak did not go for the same shot. And across the court that worked out for Princeton.
Ekholm had a chance, just couldn't give herself enough space between her and the ball.
Nine all here in game 2. Gorak serving.
And Jishan Liang loads up the backhand opening, and Ekholm goes long with the block.
Game point for the Revolution.
And that's a straight challenging serve, heavy chop coming off the end.
Did you like Leon's aggressive swing, or was that too much?
No, he had to go for it. He just didn't realize how much underspin was on the ball. got to drive those deep serves. But you got to clear the net first.
Golden point. Leon serving. And Jishan Leon hits the backhand winner.
11-10.
What a big shot for the Revolution. Really no rhythm between anything Guan and Liang is doing.
His whole body goes into this one, Sean.
But just look at sending both legs up in the air, just banging that ball, and you can see the happiness on Angela. He's leaving her hanging there. There, we got the, okay. Excellent play by Jishan, just going for broke at every opportunity.
So we're still close, tied 4-4 overall. One more game to go here in doubles.
I mean, Jishan just put the team on his paddle and went for big shots one after another. Finally, with this big backhand punch. Excellent play.
I think one of the things that we're seeing, and we've talked to players about this, is that with the games being so short, each game being worth the same,
Third game. Crocs
there's a
to
lot of
serve.
urgency early, but that also creates parity.
Really does. Different level of play is neutralized by just 3 games.
0-1.
We've seen definitely towards the end of every game the tension getting higher and the shots getting bigger.
1-all.
Ekholm has to be careful. If she just spins the ball up, that's going to give Liang enough time to come in with that monster forehand and just counterattack it.
Yikes.
Yep. Too far from the table. Ekholm really needs to move a lot more, get her offense going, allow Gorak to finish the point.
Oh my goodness.
1-4.
I mean, that's a big forehand.
To put it mildly.
And that time Ekholm said, let's see you do it with one of these.
It would be so monumental for Princeton to take 2 out of 3 here.
This is a smart play. Anytime Ekholm can drive the ball versus spin the ball up, puts extra pressure on Jishan Liang to just return it versus counterattack it.
Cut.
Impressed by the footwork of Leon to get to that forehand on the far side of the table, but not enough to win the point.
It's a great loop by Ekholm off the serve, but again, Liang does a nice job of redirecting. Out wide to the forehand.
Is there a significance to both umpires standing up in certain moments?
There is in doubles because they're having to look at the center line on the serve. Both will stand up to make sure they can see if a team or individual serves on the wrong side of that line. So you won't see that in singles, but in doubles, good observation. Both umpires will stand up.
And now it seems like there's some confusion.
Right,
over
they're
the service
asking,
order.
exactly, they're saying they didn't change. They should be able to look at the score sheet, which is what Steve Banco is doing right now.
Still 3-7. Point counts because it's played.
Right, any point that's already been played counts. You don't replay points.
Even if they hit the wrong order.
Correct. A point that has been played is a point that's counted. You don't go back in history and change that. You just correct it moving forward.
6.
I call it frustrating.
Yeah, this is kind of standard policy. Oh, she barely made that serve. She's having difficulty all match long.
7-3.
7-3 lead now for Princeton.
You can see the all-round game of Daniel Gorak isn't exactly what works here. So he likes to keep it in play, keep it going longer. Now he's forced to put a lot of pressure playing into Jishan Liang's ball. And that's a smart play by Ekholm. Ball did catch the top of the net, but it was a good decision to play from the backhand side out to the forehand. Wong unable to run that one down.
Oh my!
Gorak.
There's power, and then there's that from Liang.
He's smiling himself. He made a great backhand. Gorak could almost feel the pressure of the ball hitting Ekholm in the body.
It still looks fast in slow-mo replay. You know it's quick.
And that was a good deep serve there. Easiest way to stop somebody from flipping a short ball is serve it deep.
Liang is throwing his body around a lot.
And that's the one good thing about an offensive defensive team is that Jishan Liang is going to get a lot of swings. He's going to have to make those.
Point for the Crocs.
6-9.
9-6.
Juan with a very nice chop deep into the body of Daniel Gorak. Jishan is going to just tee off on everything that comes over the net.
He needs one of his next 4 bombs to go in to win the game.
Exactly right. Wow.
Juan went for it, didn't get it.
Ekholm had the presence of mind to expect a return, kept it going. Juan went for the deep chop, trying to set up a chance for Jishan to blast it.
Just like that, from 10-6 to 10-9. Timeout Revolution.
Timeout called. Princeton Revolution is going to have a little conversation after multiple match points have been saved.
What would you be emphasizing here if you were the coach of the Revolution?
Awesome.
Gosh, I would say with the Revolution serving, probably to play a short serve and not to go so aggressive and just do a 50-50 cream the ball. I would try to work it and earn it. But Jishan just has to remember he's probably going to have to deal with a drive to counterattack. Both Ekholm and Gorak will loop anything Angela Guan sends their way.
Going to be interesting here. Liang and Guan have the serve. If they don't win it on this point, then the serve will go back to the Crocs. Florida won the opening game 11-8. Princeton on golden point took the second 11-10. Here's the fourth game point here in this game with Jishan Liang and Angela Guan. Gorak makes it 10-10.
Just a smart play, nothing risky, some good short returns, and finally taking Angela Guan's chop and driving it into the non-existent defense of Jishan Liang. 1 point.
Double game point. Daniel Gorak delivers. Big forehand to prevail. 11-10 in game 3. Not the easiest win for Ekholm and Gorak, but they battle through the struggles and by the thinnest of margins eke it out.
And just great experience from the Crocs, playing 1 point at a time, getting the job done. And again, Jishan Liang did everything he could. Not easy to pair up with a defensive star like Angela Guan, but coming down to the final point.
Joined by Mathilde Ekholm. Mathilde, congrats on sneaking that one out. It was a battle, it was a struggle. It felt like you and Daniel were trying to find your footing. How would you assess how you all played and how you got the win?
We played so well in the first game, and then Yishan in particular started to just hitting everything on the table, and Angela also put everything back, which was disturbing to say the least. I would like them to miss all the time.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I think mentally we stayed very strong. Some weird points going on, but we kept going. And I mean, Daniel is very good shape right now. I mean, he's so safe in his top spins, and I think we're a good couple in doubles. But yeah, I don't know. We just kept fighting, and we were very mentally strong.
So Mathilde, the one question I have to ask is, what's up with the serves?
It's gonna come in the golden game. I don't know. Sometimes I get a hang up on the serve, but now I'm back to normal.
What's it like going against one player who's more defensive oriented and one that's more of attacking style?
So when we played them last time, they played with 2 choppers.
Yeah.
That was easier for us because it was better pace. You know what to expect, like chop, chop, chop. We can go on forever.
You
like
outlast
that.
them.
Yeah, exactly. So we're both very safe, me and Daniel. But now it was like an element of surprise all the time because we didn't know if Yishan would go for it or block it. So the rhythm was different. So I'm very happy we won. They were good.
It was an exciting match. We look forward to seeing you in the golden game. Thanks, Mathilde.
Thank you so much.
Mathilde Ekholm, the Swedish star, helps the Florida Crocs take a 5-4 team lead as we shift back to singles match number 3. And I'm excited for this one. 2 really intriguing Frenchmen, both that play with a lot of passion, a lot of energy. Break it down for us, Sean. De Saintilan and Brossier.
With De Saintilan, he's a defensive player just like we saw Angela Guan, but he has very strong offense, especially in the counterattacks. With Benjamin Brossier, he loves to play his forehand. He just wants to step around at every opportunity in order to get that forehand to land. He'll go off the table, he'll be up at the table, but you can count on his forehand being the main thing in order to keep the ball going. So here we go. About to begin game number 1. De Saintilan to serve. De Saintilan, he's going to work to put as much underspin on the ball when he's chopping. Brossier is going to have to pick the right ball to drive, otherwise just play a controlled offensive shot to keep the ball going. That's a beautiful forehand smash by Benjamin Brossier. De Saintilan really mixing up the spin well here. Look for him to play a lot of balls out to the forehand side. Easier for him to pick up where Brossier is going to go, and that ball caught the back edge. Again, nice control, chopping underneath it, but just barely brushed the back edge of the table. Excellent play by Brossier. Really working hard for each one of these points, but again, staying with the forehand attack, stepping around the backhand. Excellent drive. And there's the counterattack by De Saintilan. Any slow ball that Brossier puts up to the forehand side. De Saintilan likes to counterattack, especially cross court. Great shot by Brossier.
6-3.
Both players just pulling out all the forehands possible. Brossier surprised by that last one. He thought he had it on his paddle and in range. Quick look at his racket. And again, Mathieu De Saintilan, excellent position, using both defense and offense. Heavy underspin. You can just see that ball biting when it goes over the net. Only made possible by the long pips type of rubber on the black side of his racket. Great power by Brossier. Just really taking his time. He has to pick the right ball to attack and go through the ball. A lot of times he'll just spin it up. Other times he'll add more speed.
How does he know when it's the right time?
If the ball sits up a little bit, if it's more than an inch or two above the net, that's a ball he can drive. But De Saintilan keeps it so low. That's nice control there by Brossier.
3 straight for Brossier after he trailed 8-3.
Brossier just working the rally. Every single shot, you can see the amount of lift that he's putting on everything. Finally plays one down the middle.
Saintilan led 8-3. Brossier's closed it to 8-7.
A battle of the patience. De Saintilan just taking his time, mixing up the spin, throwing in some top spin.
When that point finally ended, the ball boy went to go pick it up, and De Saintilan said, "No, I'll use that one again."
Yeah, he liked the feel of that one.
I mean, it's like these two guys are playing a different sport. I mean, Brossier and De Saintilan could not have more contrasting styles from the same country.
But they both have the same level of fight, and they work so hard.
Yeah, that's well said.
To keep the ball in play. Neither one is overplaying. And De Saintilan surprise attacks. The most opportune time. When you least expect it, here comes his attack.
Yeah, that's one of the first points in the game that he did almost immediately retreat into the backcourt. Game point to Saintilan. Wow. Brossier wanted to kick the table in frustration. You can understand it, Sean. He had so many good forehand loops. De Saintilan kept chopping him back and eventually got some good fortune from the net to take game one.
Stopped getting a yellow card by having the breaks on the foot. But what a great fight. Super points on both sides of the net.
Did you, I forget, did you articulate who you thought was the favorite in this match?
Gosh, I think style-wise, De Saintilan has a little bit, he has a few more additional options with the offense. Brossier is going to just come with the forehand, keep spinning, spinning, spinning. But I noticed how patient he was. He wasn't overplaying, so I really think it's more of a coin flip here. It's whoever wants it more. I think Princeton really needs it more. Crocs are in the driver's seat, but looking at the two benches, and the Crocs are just completely in the corner. Everyone's standing up, encouraging. Revolution a little bit more subdued and sitting and watching. I just think the Crocs spirit among all the teams is just maybe a half a level above. They're just giving high fives before coming out to the table. And the momentum from that doubles that we just saw with Ekholm and Gorak winning on the final point.
Second game, Crocs to serve. Love all.
Brossier will serve to start game two. Goes off the side of the table. De Saintilan takes that first point. I mean, if there were not barricades, De Saintilan might go outside and still return some of these shots.
Yeah, they would just circle the table as both players hooking it around the net. Brassier wanted to clear the net on the near side.
I mean, seeing these two guys and their contrasted styles would just be great to show to someone who has never seen high-level table tennis before.
Absolutely.
Because it's different than anything you've played in your basement.
And you can see how each player builds the point. It's not a 1-2 shot. Those are great shots by Benjamin Brassier.
Brassier's hit a lot of great shots. He's hit 6,
They
7
just
great shots.
They all just get returned.
Each
That's the
point.
problem. Mathieu De Saintilan is a specialist at returning the biggest bombs. And then here comes his forehand.
And you see the forehand and wonder why he doesn't use it more often.
Well, it's because the defense is so strong. But that's a smart tactic that he did on this last point. Keep it on the forehand side. Makes Brassier have to cover the whole table because he knows he likes to step around his backhand. Oh, that defense is a wall. De Saintilan just bringing everything back, mixing up the spin. Sometimes going heavy underspin, sometimes just looping it up.
Timeout Crocs. De Saintilan taking for the first 5 points, mixing it up.
Okay, timeout is called
Mathieu
here.
needs a nickname.
And right
My mind goes
now,
to like the best defenses
4-1, Mathieu De
in the
Saintilan
NFL, like
leads.
the Monsters
Cal,
of the
what was your
Midway
guys'
or
question?
the Pittsburgh Steel Curtain.
Purple people eaters.
Purple People
You had it
Eaters.
fresh.
We need
You guys are
we
so
need some
shy.
sort of defensive nickname for De Saintilan. If
Good
folks
question,
out there
Cal.
watching
I'm
on
glad you
YouTube
asked
want to
on
make some
behalf of you
suggestions.
and
Throw 'em
your
in the
dad as
comments.
Representative for the father-son
You
union
never
that
miss
has
a
been
comment,
created
so
here for
I
the
know you'll go
Crocs
back
fans.
and check for me.
Does he chomp with the red side?
Man.
I would
Say,
say not
after
very
we watched
often.
De Saintilan at Daytona
have you seen
Beach,
him ever chomp with his forehand?
he was the guy that I kind of wanted to go to a table and try and emulate, and try to mix in that backhand, backspin magic.
He just covers the entire court. And once that first forehand lands, when he turns the offense on, he stays with it. He just keeps looping and looping no matter how low he has to get. But great technique, great cross court. And then you've got Benjamin Brassier, who just fights for his forehand. At every opportunity, he's running around trying to get another forehand into play.
To be clear, Sean, I could not emulate De Saintilan's backhand backspin, but you told me it was just because of the paddle I was using, so you rectified that for me. You got me a great paddle.
Exactly. We haven't worked on the deep chops yet, but that's next weekend.
See you in Houston. Ridiculous!
How good is that? De Saintilan coming up after chopping the cover off the ball with a big forehand counterattack down the line. That's why I mentioned he just seems to have one more gear. He can do so many more things. Brassier has such a nice fight and such a nice forehand. But De Saintilan is bringing everything back. Smart by Brassier. Can't just drive with power, but have to place the ball, sometimes shorter to the forehand. Will get a topspin return, which you can work off of. Patience is rewarded.
Rossier outlasted De Saintilan on that rally. But I mean, it's got to be mentally really tough to know, okay, now I'm within 3. I got to do that 3 more times just to tie him up.
Yeah,
Can't make him a single mistake.
and it's reading the spin and the depth and the height of the ball. Each one plays a factor in how much spin is on it.
Wow, De Saintilan goes colliding with the barricade.
And Brassier knows that once he's back, the only thing he can do is put heavy side spin to send him sideways in order to stop his ability to keep getting one more ball back.
Talk about playing with kind of a no-holds-barred attitude. Couple straight for Brassier. And that's 3 in a row now for Benjamin.
And I think the reason De Saintilan went for that big forehand loop was a little bit of impatience there after losing that long rally. Didn't want to have to go through it again. But that time it worked.
5-7.
The luxury of having such a good counterattack.
Yeah, part of me wants to see De Saintilan play a match without chopping, just being aggressive, using that forehand, because he's got a weapon.
Yeah, the challenge is that his backhand loop isn't quite there, so that's why the long pips and the chopping work so well, because it complements the forehand.
That might be my problem too, Sean. This is fun.
Brassier is working so hard for every point. Got to remember, he likes to only play with his forehand. So once he loops, he's got to be ready in case the ball goes to the backhand side to keep moving, to keep the forehand attacks going. De Saintilan can play both forehand and backhands, no difficulty, especially chopping on the backhand.
De Saintilan had a 6-2 lead, but we're now tied at 7s. Middle game of this 3rd singles match.
And you can hear it from Brassier after every point right now.
De Saintilan took a long look at the ball and says he wants a new one. No two players in any singles match in the history of MLTT have had longer, more thrilling rallies than these two Frenchmen here tonight.
It's back and forth, and I just love it when De Saintilan gets that forehand loop to land, because you know you're going to be in a counter looping rally cross court.
De Saintilan leads again.
He's upping the amount of underspin that he's adding to the ball right now. Just loading it up.
9-all. Sean, a confession and a mission statement for the future. I'm never running to the bathroom during a matchup with these two ever again. I will wait until these guys are done. This is too exhilarating. (10-9) for De Saintilan.
And in the forehand-to-forehand exchanges, De Saintilan,
he's had the edge.
Absolutely.
And we're tied 10-10. Another epic rally. And this middle game here in the third singles match will come down to a golden point.
Rossier with the serve.
De Saintilan did it with defense and flair. 11-10 in game two. He's got a 2-0 lead.
What a wall. Combining it with great forehand attacks just continues the pressure from the backcourt.
Right now, this is looking very, very interesting. The Saintilan cousins looking quite happy over here. Impressive so far. He's having a good weekend. Maybe you guys should follow him around the country.
Maybe we should emphasize the D, Mathieu De Saintilan.
But there's some O over there as well.
It's true. Don't be confused. There's no O in the name, but he can bring the offense too.
He's got to be, if not the,
Man.
without a doubt, one of the most
That's good stuff.
players to watch this season. We all talk about it. The chopper
Just changes the side spin, the great counterattacks.
We know he's practicing his English.
Both players just taking full swings.
American accent. He's going to be calling you for practice, language exchange. So right now, Princeton.
What's it like for Rossier? I mean, when De Saintilan approaches, sometimes out of necessity because it's a short shot, but other times he just decides to go on the attack and then seems to catch Rossier off guard.
It's really tough as an offensive player anytime the defender decides to stay close. But De Saintilan is winning so many points in the deep off the table counter looping rallies. Just showing another dimension to the game, including the ability to get net balls on demand.
Tough break there for Rossier. One all.
Oh.
That's a tough ball to drive. Rossier tried to take this ball deep to the backhand, just caught the top of the net. Beautiful backhand hit by Brassier. That ball popped up just a little bit, allowed him to get over the table and just punch that backhand for a winner.
And that you can see why De Saintilan backs away from the table the way he does. Needs to buy himself some time.
You see, that's the backhand loop that really isn't having the same consistency as his forehand. Just overplays it.
Boom.
And that's what happens when the ball pops up. Brassier's taking his time, really mixing up the drives and the slower spins. As that ball dips down, it's tough to keep low on the return, and De Saintilan's last ball just too easy to smack away. What a great backhand off the ground by Benjamin Brassier.
Yeah, he's upped his level here in game 3. Heck of an exchange right there.
You know, when we talked to Benjamin earlier, he said he had a good backhand, and obviously with that last shot he proved it.
Well, you were giving him a hard time for running around his backhand too much.
Well, one of the reasons is he plays the way I used to play. And I love people who run around. And he said his backhand isn't so bad.
Off the side, it caught. 6-2 lead for Brassier.
This is tiring for Brassier. You might think that De Saintilan needs to change his game, but looking at Brassier right now, he's getting worn out. He's just looping so many balls per point.
I'm getting worn out watching these two guys.
Brassier gave him a thumbs up on that one.
Yeah, too good.
How De Saintilan was able to step around and get his forehand in.
Does a ping pong ball leave a mark?
It does. Just great shots by Benjamin Brassier.
He had a big roar after that point.
So much easier when you have a lead against a chopper to do these counterattacks. Good placement. Brassier got it into the middle. Such a clean forehand loop. And Mathieu De Saintilan just takes his time.
Come on.
A little impatient there by De Saintilan, going for a big shot when the point wasn't there. And again, just two rushed and forced forehands. That's what happens when the offensive player has a lead. Often the defender will opt out, but
Wow. Two players changing roles that last point. With the game on the line, Brossier is still with a slew of game points ahead. Tremendous hustle from both players. Hope these guys get a rousing ovation after this match, regardless of what happens. That almost caught De Saintilan.
And that was not an easy tomahawk chop smash that De Saintilan landed.
Three in a row for De Saintilan. After he was down 10-4, we saw Daniel Gorak erase a 10-4 deficit earlier today against Jingxin Wang. And that'll do it. Brossier able to battle through and take game three. An epic duel between these two talented Frenchmen. De Saintilan takes 2 out of 3.
Brossier once again showing that he takes each game individually like a championship, and a well-earned third game to give the Crocs another game point.
One team will be ahead, either by 3 points or by 1 point. So that fight that you saw from Benjamin Rogier was big. He basically saved the chance here.
And we are now joined by Mathieu De Saintilan after getting 2 points for your team. Mathieu, it was fun for us to watch. Was it fun to play?
Because we practice together in France and we know each other perfectly. So when we play together, sometimes, most of the time, it's very nice for this match. Yes.
And Mathieu, when you're playing, how much are you thinking keeping the ball out to Benjamin's forehand so he doesn't have the ability to turn and use his forehand from the backhand court? Are you constantly wanting to go out to the forehand, or is it just something in this match?
When we train, I go a lot of in the backhand, and for this match I try to change for make it a surprise. And when I go to the forehand, he can come to my forehand too, and we can go and come top, and it's nice for me. So I know if I go to the backhand, we'll move very fast and take the forehand too. So if I shove, he will take the forehand, whatever.
How are you feeling physically? I mean, you were throwing your body around. I think you hit the barricade on the side at one point. Are you all right?
I'm okay, but last set it was a little more difficult, yes. I made some mistake with my forehand. It was I don't keep my body strong, but it's okay. I will rest during one match and ready for golden game.
Lastly, Mathieu, how would you say you develop your style of your mixture of defense and offense?
I started to defense. I was very young and I play a lot of match, lot of free game, and this way I play like this now. I don't have a lot of coach when I was young, and I really play as I want at the time, and now I play like this. It's totally natural.
Fun to watch. Thanks for playing. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll see you in the golden game, Mathieu.
Thank you.
Mathieu De Saintilan, 2 out of 3 over Benjamin Brossier. And now we are set for a really intriguing final singles match. Jishan Liang and Marc Durand. Durand was seemingly almost invincible last night. Liang's a talented player too.
1-0.
Jishan Liang went 1-2 against Sasha Hadid in his MLTT singles debut yesterday.
0-2.
Durand just picks up where he left off yesterday. Out to a quick 2-0 lead.
1-2.
When we saw Kazaku playing against Kai Jung, there was so much talk of the amount of power between the two players. We're going to see that exact same thing right here. Duran very strong on the backhand side, but his forehand is a finishing shot, just like that. And we saw Jian Shen in the doubles showing some power playing with Angela Guan.
Certainly a very different flavor to this singles match compared to the last one we just watched. These two guys are looking to end points quickly.
That is a crazy shot by Marc Duran. It's a combination of a block and a smash. Jishan really wasn't sure what happened on it. Great placement by Jishan Liang. Having to go to both corners. Finally out to the wide forehand. There's that punching backhand of Marc Duran.
Wow.
So strong down the line.
Both these guys can finish a point with a forehand.
Duran really mixing it up with the backhand side spin blocks. But Jishan Liang, monster forehand.
So we're tied 6-6 as they go to the towel. One dynamic that is kind of hanging in the balance here, Sean. You can tell me if it's interesting or not. This is the 16th team match in Major League Table Tennis. And in every single match of the first 15 team matches, there has been at least one 3-0 sweep. There has not been a 3-0 sweep yet here between the Revolution and the Crocs.
It would surprise me, just because these two players are such shot makers, for one player to just catch on fire for all 3 games.
Durant channeling the De Saintilan defense right there, chopping a few back, and Liang sends it long. Back to a 1-point game.
In the backhand exchange with this righty-lefty combination, I would definitely say that Duran has the advantage. It's just punching it quicker on the straight line. Oh, that's a great combination. Out to the forehand and then inside out to the forehand again.
Wow.
That's the monster forehand from Jishan Liang. Lets the opponent open up and then just overpowers.
Unleashing the monster. Game point.
Oh, nice change of spin on the serve. Took the spin off of it. Duran tried to keep it, just popped it off the side.
Game number 1.
So an 11-8 win for Liang in game 1.
Abby, Princeton Revolution is in
Gives
the
Princeton
lead.
a 7-6
Smiles
lead
coming out, this
overall in the
brother-sister
team
rivalry
match.
we got here. It's interesting. Cal is a Florida Croc. Abby is a Princeton Revolutionary. Is that what we call your fans, Princeton Revolutionaries, Roger?
You know, right now, Florida,
sure, I like it.
with their 6 points on the board, has tied Carolina. But they need at least one more point to stay in first place by themselves.
And I'm sure Coach Frank is thinking, how can he add 7 points? Great.
Or 8.
Yeah, exactly.
8 points still up for grabs, 6 of which will come in the Golden Game.
They were looking at you. They want to see you play. They're excited. They heard about you.
Both these guys play with an intense amount of power. You always got to be ready.
And Martha and the Spanish showman on the receive. Here we
Look
go,
out.
game number 2.
Second game, what? Second game, Revolution serve, love all.
Boom!
That backhand is just crushing. Again, he let his opponent open up to set up the backhand blast.
Missed the table.
3-0.
2-0 Durand.
Jishan knows he's not going to slow spin that opening attack. It's going to drive it.
3-0.
3-0 lead for Durand here in game 2.
One, 3.
Oh,
1-4.
overhitting by Jishan Liang. Cannot afford to give those easy points away.
Four, 2.
Good forehand step around, good placement, heavy topspin.
5-2.
This seems like Durand knows where the ball's going. He's able to punch so many of them with that backhand side.
2-6.
Nice backhand there by
3-6.
Liang.
Wow.
It's
7-3.
it's a bit unorthodox, but it's so effective. Just comes out of nowhere. So smooth.
7-4.
Yeah, that was nice.
Looked like your backhand a little bit.
Very little bit.
4-8.
Any soft ball over the table, Durand just pounces on.
Four, 9.
Missed it.
Had a
9,
chance.
5.
Needed Adam out there to snake that one on. Great placement, just
10, 5.
jammed Jishan into the middle.
What would happen with Adam snaking against one of these pros? That's game 11-5. Mark
Crocs,
Durand
11-5.
makes quick work in game 2, and I mean, this is a little bit of MLTT history. It's the first time in 16 matches that we will not see a 3-0 sweep in any of the singles or doubles showdowns.
And it just shows you how close and tight all these teams are, that no player is able just to dominate, whether it's singles or doubles, a 3-0 victory. But to go back to your previous question,
Yeah.
I've seen Adam Bobrow snake a couple of the pros, get them looking the other way, but most of the time they're smart enough to take it early before it can take its big bend and jump to the side. But definitely go to YouTube on Adam Bobrow. You will see some great action with Adam challenging the entire world of table tennis.
Yeah, it's cool.
Seven all there, tied up. This is to determine which team will start the goal.
There's Adam Bobrow. Just wish he brought a little color to Major League Table Tennis.
Still so bland.
Yeah, he's very black and white.
Third game, Crocs to serve, love all.
What a great
0-1.
Duran to Duran. Backhand off the bounce, cross court for the winner.
2-0.
We should pick here in game 3, Sean.
I'm going to go with Jishan Liang. I think he wants it more.
After the better start, that's for sure.
But that backhand,
2-1.
it's just amazing. And after about the 5th or 6th time, you might want to try playing it more to the forehand or the middle. But if you go soft to the forehand, Mark Duran is ready. Duran going for the two-hander. That could be a costly mistake there. Duran had the ball that he wanted, just overplayed it.
Is that a footwork thing, or did you just catch it timing slightly off?
Just timing and just not being careful enough.
4-2 lead for Leon. Oh my! Heavy hitting and then a short ball, and Leon sends it into the net. Then it's 4-3.
Such a crazy return when you're in a counter looping rally to have your opponent all of a sudden just throw a backhand chop. Now, if you're De Saintilan, that makes sense. But if you're an offensive player like Mark Duran, people don't always expect that. Again, that's the same serve that Jishan Liang did. Just takes a lot of the spin off of it. Duran popping it off the side.
Switch sides at 5-3. Jishan Liang trying to give Princeton a 1-point lead headed into the Golden Game. Remember, the Crocs have never lost a Golden Game. Revolution have never won one. But Liang is sizzling right now here at singles.
Just a complete missile.
Six, 4.
It's like the coach giving Jishan the green light to go after every single shot.
7-4.
Duran not happy with that shot selection.
Oh my, what a return by Liang.
4-8.
And that's what we saw Liang do in the doubles as well. That's what Ekholm was talking about, just pulling shots out.
Sending it deep. Duran was shocked that ball came back the way it did.
And then a rush on that last one.
4-9.
Too early on the forehand.
Swing and a miss for Durant, and it's now 10-4. Game point to give Princeton the lead.
That's a full swing there.
10-5.
How about that?
What a drop shot.
You apologize for it, but that's what you want with a drop shot.
Wanted to just get over the net as little as possible, and that was about as little as possible. 10-6.
And it comes back again for Jishan Liang. And he takes game 3, 11-6 over Mark Duran.
Walking down the runway like New York
Staying with the rally, returning one more ball.
To impress, and he sets the score up for Princeton Revolution to start off the golden
Going
game.
into the golden
with
game with just a
1-point lead.
1-point
All right,
difference.
Colin and the rest of the game. So,
8-7 lead for Princeton. They'll have a 1-point lead as the golden game begins. The coaches will come together along with the commissioner of Major League Table Tennis, Flint Lane, to determine the order.
The coaches are going to come and meet with the commissioner.
And we shall see how adventurous the coaches want to be. All 5 active players playing 4 points at a time, substituting on multiples of 4, so the first duo will play 3 points each. Let's go down to the table. Flint Lane with Frank Arias and Matthias Habasson.
Try to face the camera. Try to speak up. Okay, we're ready when you are. Okay, we've got Princeton Revolution up at 67th Avenue, starting with a 1-point lead.
Of Florida Crocs.
You get to pick the first
Right now,
player
they're
to serve
determining
once,
who
receive
plays
twice.
in which
Who's
position.
your first player?
So the first player is only going to play 3 points for each team because the scoreline starts off 1-0 for Princeton Revolution. After 3 points have played and there are a total of 4 points on the scoreboard, they'll send in the second player. And then they'll keep rotating every 4 points until one team has a 21-point advantage, or they're going to have 21 points. If it comes to 2020, it is an ultimate golden point. And this is worth 16 points. So whichever team wins gets 16 points. Remember, right now, it's 8-7 for Princeton Revolution. So there are only 2 scoreline outcomes. It's either going to be 14-7 favoring Princeton Revolution, or it's going to be 13-8 favoring Florida Crocs. I know that's what you want, Cal. I see the chomp coming. So get ready. This is going to be intense. They started the lineup.
All right, guys,
Princeton Revolution sending out Yevgen.
Alrighty, the interesting development there is that we won't be seeing De Saintilan against Brossier. It'll be Prishepa and Brossier in the 3 spot. And we'll see De Saintilan go against Daniel Gonzalez in the 5 hole. Were you surprised by the decision making there from the coaches?
Yeah, both of them are just trying to get so many points right at the start. But it'll be interesting with the 4, with the women playing. Because I would think that Ekholm would have an advantage, but throwing Gonzalez down at the very bottom.
So it was Matthias who basically decided everything was kind of on track to what it had been. And Matthias said, no, it's going to be Yevgen against Brossier in the 3 spot instead of De Saintilan. It was also a little surprising to see De Saintilan in the 5 spot, have Angela play in the 4 spot.
Right.
Daniel Gorak will start off down
If it's 2020, by the way, it would be Jin Wong and Daniel Gorak. These 2 that start would be back on the table to finish it, but that's quite literally 40 points away if we get there. Golden game to cap Saturday night. Here we go. Jinxin Wong with an opening statement, backhand winner.
Best shot I've seen him play all season. It's such an important time for the Revolution. Looks like he's been told you've got to attack.
Quick block from the high middle. Jinxin Wong takes the points.
So Wong takes 2 out of 3, gives Princeton a 3-1 lead.
Rematch of the match we just saw.
He found the 2 out of 3, and he gets the first point here against Duran.
Duran looking very offensive minded off his serve.
A narrow escape with the fast footwork of the Spanish showman. It is now 4-2 Jishan with 2 serves to come.
Effective serve by Jishan.
Outright point, 5-2. And a long empty push from Marco Ann, a flow push.
5-3 lead for Princeton as we see this matchup that we haven't seen yet. Rossier against Prziepa.
It's going to be a battle of the forehand versus the backhand.
Top edge of the racket, and it's Prziepa to take the points on the receive, 3-6.
Wow. How about that serve from Rossier? Caught the edge of the table. He apologized kind of belatedly for it, but he got the point. Shep is still up 2 with 2 serves.
There was the forehand fight of Rossier stepping around outside the corner of the table to get his forehand in.
6-5.
Big,
6-6.
big fight by Benjamin Rossier. Now the ladies.
And Angela Guan, collegiate national champion and shocking sensation, comes to the table for Sweden and Florida's Matilda Echo.
What do you think right here?
It's really up to Matilda. Angela's going to play just safe and keep it on the table. No risk.
There's a winner.
Cool, calm backhands. Matilda Echo with the
Beautiful touch on that backhand loop.
The second serve to come.
She's a gamer. Juan went for the attack and it did not work out. So Ekholm takes care of business on her 2 serves. How about that?
Ekholm just so tough when she delivers that first backhand loop. Difficult for Guan to keep that ball low, and then here comes Matilda's big forehand smash.
5 straight points for the Crocs. And an apology, but an important point going Princeton's way as Guan got a little smile from the table tennis gods.
Now coming to the table, Florida Crocs send out Daniel Gonzalez.
All right, Gonzalez
and the guns.
and his guns. Sun's still out apparently against Mathieu De Saintilan and his defense.
7.
Just gotta feel so good to win the first point in your first ever Golden game, you would think.
Nice shot inside the table is Mathieu De Saintilan on the defense, showing the short game, gets the serves back at 8-10.
Gonzalez. Now a 3-point lead for the Crocs.
Rare misplay from De Saintilan. And into the net.
2-point game as we head back to the top of the order.
Keeps it within 2. 11 serving line, remember.
Dan Gorak in Daytona Beach was by far the best in the Golden game. Jin Wong took 2 of the 3 points on their initial opportunity. Nothing at 4 points. Florida up 2, and Jin Wong!
What another amazing forehand flip kill, just like we saw in their first Golden game point.
That first ball made me think of that scene in Happy Gilmore. Like, oh, that's so much more easier than putting. I should just hit it, make it in one shot every time. Jin Wong, my goodness.
Why play all these control shots when you can just finish it directly?
And that's 3 straight for Wong.
And there's a chance
6 of the 7 against Gorak,
who was Mr. Golden Game in Daytona Beach.
And he was good yesterday, too.
Gorak salvages the last of the 4, and we're tied 12-12. I'll remind you again, the Florida Crocs have never lost a Golden game in 4 chances. The Princeton Revolution have never won a Golden game in 4 chances. Will history repeat itself, or will there be a revolution?
And we're seeing Duran go for offense and defense at the same point. We know what Jishan Liang's going to bring.
Duran with that backhand cross-court winner again.
13 points apiece in the serves with Jishan Liang.
Really, this entire match has been basically as close as it gets. First ever match without a 3-0 sweep. Every single match, singles and doubles, was 2-1. 8-7 overall, heading into the Golden game.
13 serving 13.
Durant sends it long, and Jishan Liang takes 3 of the 4. Builds a 2-point lead as Pershepa and Brossier retake the table.
13-15.
Brossier serving first, trailing by 2.
Pershepa's backhand has been so solid for him.
Backhand corner, 13 serving 16.
And Brossier just fights to get that forehand in.
That was a must-have point right there for Brossier.
Absolutely.
2 serves coming up for Pershepa. He's got a chance to really put Angela Guan in a good spot if he can take both of these.
Oh, look at that.
Brossier who responds.
Starts with the backhand and then runs over and delivers a forehand bomb.
1 point away from Ekong and Guan stepping back up. Will it be tied, or will Princeton lead by 2?
Pershepa gives the Revolution a 2-point lead. Gives Guan a little bit of a cushion. Ekholm took 3 of the 4 from Guan when they met earlier this game.
Ekholm to serve at 15-17 with Angela Guan on the receive.
See if Ekholm can get her backhand loop into any of these rallies. It'll set up her forehand nicely.
She told you that she'd get the serve figured out for the Golden Game.
And that was just so easy and clean. Nice reverse pendulum serve and a control loop. Loop right into the body. But now Angela Guan will have the serve tied 17-all.
Timeout Princeton.
By Princeton Revolution, Mathieu De Saintilan.
17-all. It's a game to 4. 2 more points for Ekholm and Guan. Then it'll be Gonzalez and De Saintilan, and if we are even at 20s, it'll be the top of the order. Jin Wong and Daniel Gorak to decide it.
Getting 6 points, but your opponent getting 6 points. That's like 12 points in the next 4 points potentially.
Will Guan try something offensive-minded on the serve and return, or will she just stay in her defensive stance?
And she brought the offense.
Smart decision, smart timeout.
With the tomahawk and the follow-up punch. 18-17, second serve to come.
Another massive point right here.
Ekholm takes it, and we're tied 18-all.
Ekholm got the 3 out of 4 done once again.
And now Daniel Gonzalez in his first ever Golden Game against Mathieu De Saintilan, whose style will prevail here. Either player can take 3 out of 4, it's over. Into the net. Princeton leads by 1.
And Coach Frank Arias calling the timeout for the Florida Crocs.
Timeout Crocs.
Talk about nerves. This is the time.
Arias just trying to settle Gonzalez down, it looks like. He's only played 1 point. It's not like he's tired. He almost wants him to be a little more chill.
Yeah, and maybe work the point versus trying to finish it.
You see the ball was still on the net when Frank signaled the timeout.
I really think, Evan, that this situation here favors the Revolution. Again, Mathieu De Saintilan has so many options, and his heavy chops are going to neutralize some of Gonzalez's fast attacks. He's going to have to lift that ball first.
Huge serve for Gonzalez here out of the timeout.
Missed it.
Again, De Saintilan changing the amount of spin. That wasn't the ball to drive.
Princeton on the brink of its historic first win. It's over. We have seen a table tennis revolution tonight with Princeton taking down Florida as the Crocs suffer defeat in the Golden Game for the first time at the hands of the New Jersey squad, the Revolution.
Before the match, the coaches and owners said this was a must-win for the Revolution, and they got the job done.
De Saintilan able to close it out, 3 straight points against Daniel Gonzalez. And man, I mean, there are tons of storylines that we could rehash. You think about the effort from Jishan Liang, both in singles and in the Golden Game. Let's talk about it with Matthias Habasson Matthias, congratulations. I'm sure that feels like it's a long time coming. What's the most satisfying part of your first Major League Table Tennis victory?
Yeah, I mean, the comeback is greater than the setback, I guess. Yeah, I was really suffering the last few matches, the last days of the MLTT, because I'm still thinking that we have one of the best teams in the league, and yeah, it feels great, of course, now to beat the team that is unbeaten up to now, but every streak has an end someday, and today ended 2 streaks, the winning streak of the Crocs and our losing streak, and yeah, of course, it's easier to go to the hall now and practice and do the job.
What was the difference today for you and your team?
The difference was, I guess, that the small things went a little bit better than the first 4 matches for us. The small things in between, in the critical situations, we had better solutions today. And yeah, we also prepared a little bit different than before, with a lot of multi-balls and stuff. And yeah, the players, they seemed to me a little more relaxed before the match, because they knew that they did their homework and stuff. And yeah, okay, there is a second point too. I mean, this weekend we have a little different team also. Jishan Liang is a little bit kind of a key player for us, as a very strong player and as a left-hand player, of course. And yeah, I mean, it went very well, and I'm very proud of my team. I'm very, very happy also for the whole staff around this team, because I think we have the best team owners and team managers worldwide. They are really great. Thanks, Roger. Thanks, Andre. Thanks, Dima. And yes, of course, I will enjoy the evening now with my boys
will you have a chance to give Dima a call and let him know how well the team did, or is he watching right now?
Yeah, Dima, thank you so much for supporting. I hope we could give a little bit back to you, but it's not over yet. We will continue like this, for sure.
Let's go back to the very first singles match of the day. Jinshin Wang against Daniel Gorak.
Yeah.
Jinshin has a 10-4 lead. He lets it go. How big was it for him to get that third game, get you guys on the board, and build some positive energy?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's tough to lead 10-4 and lose and keep the mind in the right way in this short period of time until the next set. But on the other hand, I think he was a little bit more relaxed because he was pissed after this set, and yeah, he could manage to play a few very good balls in the third set. Yeah, and yeah, you can never say what if he win this set. Maybe then it's more tight everything, and he also ends up 1-2. You know, you never know. I think the third set he won because he lost the set before in this way. Yeah.
Incredible game and very exciting. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow against Carolina. That's at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Best of luck getting some rest tonight. Enjoy it. Turn the page, and we'll see you tomorrow, Matthias. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Matthias Habasson, the coach of the Princeton Revolution. And they get the job done. I mean, Florida had never lost a Golden Game. Princeton had never won, in the words of the immortal Chris Berman. That is why they play the Golden Game.
Yeah, and for Daniel Gorak, what a change of Golden Game from being the hero last time to being the player who Jinshin Wang really took advantage of.
Yeah, Wang really stepped up. I mean, Prishepa as well. De Saintilan just dazzled and did so many fantastic things. Thanks for spending some of your Saturday with us. It has been a fun 6+ hours. We'll be back with you about 13 hours from now, 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, Florida and Chicago. Time for us to say goodnight. For Sean O'Neill and our entire crew, I'm Evan Lepler saying good evening from Myrtle Beach. The Princeton Revolution are on the board. Their first MLTT Golden Game victory. Good night, everybody.